Hi, this is Jeevi from idlebrain.com. I am here with Miss Tamannah. She's been in the industry for 20 years and she acted in over 85 films, and she is still relevant and so beautiful.
You've been around for more than 20 years.
Yeah, right. Miro Telugu film industry is very special for you. People treat you as a Telugu heroine, and you also own up Telugu audiences, and you learn Telugu. మీరు తెలుగులో చాలా బాగా మాట్లాడుతుంటారు. తెలుగు నేర్చుకొని తెలుగులో మాట్లాడాలి అనేది మీరు కెరీర్ బిగినింగ్లోనే డిసైడ్ చేసుకున్నారు. మీకు అంత మోటివేషన్ ఎలా వస్తుంది? అంటే సౌత్ ఇండియన్ తమిళ్ మలయాళం వాళ్ళకి తెలుగు ఈజ్ రిలేటివ్లీ ఈజీ టు లెర్న్, బట్ ఫర్ హిందీ గర్ల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్. మీరు ఎలా నేర్చుకొని యూ ఓన్డ్ ఇట్ అప్ బేసికలీ?
ఐ థింక్ నేను చాలా చిన్నప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల మామూలుగా ఆ వయసులో ఎనీవే కాలేజ్కి వెళ్తారో ఏదో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ చేస్తారో, సో ఆ టైంలో సెట్స్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు డైలాగ్స్ చదువుతుంటూ అందరితో మాట్లాడుతుంటూ ఆర్గానిక్గా నేర్చుకోవడం జరిగింది కూడా. పైగా ఐ ఆల్సో ఫెల్ట్ ఒక ఆడియన్స్తో కనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలంటే భాషతో మాత్రం కాదు, నేను వాళ్ళ కల్చర్ కూడా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి, అండ్ ఆల్సో దాన్ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేయడానికి నేను ఐ హ్యావ్ టు ఆల్సో అండర్స్టాండ్ ద డైనామిక్స్ ఆఫ్ ద కల్చర్. సో అండ్ అది అఫ్కోర్స్ మెల్లగా జరిగింది అండ్ చాలా ఆర్గానిక్గా కూడా అయింది, బికాజ్ ఐ స్పెండ్ సో మచ్ టైమ్ హైదరాబాద్లో కానీ చెన్నైలో కానీ. ఆనెస్ట్గా చెప్పాలంటే హిందీ మాట్లాడిన వాళ్ళకి తెలుగు కొంచెం ఈజియర్, బికాజ్ ఇట్ స్టిల్ హ్యాస్ సంస్కృత్ యాజ్ అన్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్. సో ఇట్స్ మచ్ ఈజియర్ ఫర్ హిందీ స్పీకింగ్ పీపుల్ టు టాక్ తెలుగు. బట్ నేను తమిళ్ నేర్చుకున్నప్పుడు కష్టపడ్డాను, బికాజ్ అసలు ఆ మాటలు
Sanskrit roots levu.
It was hard. It was much more difficult for me to pick up Tamil. I think supposing Telugu ki naku 5 years padindante, Tamil ki at least 7-8 years padindi మాట్లాడడానికి.
మీకు తమిళ్ కూడా వచ్చు?
ఎస్, తమిళ్ కూడా మాట్లాడవచ్చు నేను. బట్ ఐ థింక్ నేను ఇప్పుడు కూడా చాలా కలోకియల్ తమిళ్ తెలుగు మాట్లాడతాను, జస్ట్ అబౌట్ ఎనఫ్ టు కమ్యూనికేట్. బట్ ఎస్, ద ఫ్యాక్ట్ రిమైన్స్, నాకు కోపం వస్తే ఇంకా నేను తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడతాను, ఎందుకు తెలియదు. బట్ ఇట్స్ సమ్ వియర్డ్ థింగ్ దట్ ఇట్ గోస్ ఇన్ టు సమ్ ఐ డోంట్ నో.
జనరల్గా కోపం వస్తే బ్యాడ్ వర్డ్స్ మాట్లాడతారు. యూ స్పీక్ తెలుగు?
ఐ డోంట్ నో వై. I think that's how I'm really Telugu, because it's just it's like a nature thing now.
Right. Odela, ante you are considered as very 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 glamorous heroine in Telugu. So sudden transformation into Shiva Shakti and elaga portray cheyagaligaru. You are looking very powerful, dynamic and very religious also.
Thank you.
ఎలా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ చేయగలిగారు?
I actually always have had that feeling that for women it's sad that people think that we are only unidimensional, and I feel like I think all the more ఇది మా బాధ్యత అయిపోతుంది to explain and to somewhat educate people that a woman is many things, and if I can be glamorous, then I can also be strong. I can also be fierce. I can also be gentle. I can also be empathetic. So for a woman anyway, there is multitasking or having many dimensions is only natural. We can do everything, and I feel like when I make my choices as an actor, I'm constantly trying to put that across without saying it verbally, because my film choices will kind of express what I think about women. And I feel like a woman's glamour has to be celebrated. I think in 2025, if we cannot celebrate it, and I feel like especially for us, and I've been a part of Telugu cinema that loves seeing women in song and dance, this industry must all the more actually celebrate their women, because we look at women as goddesses in our
Yeah.
culture, and I feel like the least we can do is understand that she is not going to be only one thing. And for me, it was very natural to play this Shiva Shakti character, although I didn't even, like, when I started off, I didn't know what are the roots of it. But Sampath Garu was the one who kind of educated me on that, because he comes from Odila, that is his hometown.
Right.
And ఆయన చిన్నప్పుడు లైక్ ఐ థింక్ 5th స్టాండర్డ్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆయన అనుభవించారు ఈ సీన్ శివశక్తులు వాళ్ళు ఊర్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆయన కలిసారు, టైం స్పెండ్ చేశారు. సో హీ సీన్ దెమ్ గ్రోయింగ్ అప్, and it's very nice that a filmmaker like him, who has made commercial films himself, has chosen again a commercial format to put the protagonist as Shiva Shakti, you know. So I feel like that's very empowering, that's very powerful. And and a woman is, I think the fact that he's showing her in her divine avatar, it's wonderful. I'm so happy and excited about this film.
రైట్. మీరు మొదట్లో శ్రీ అనే ఫిల్మ్ చేశారు, సెకండ్ వాజ్ హ్యాపీ డేస్ టైంలో ఐ ఇంటర్వ్యూడ్ యూ ఇన్ మల్లారెడ్డి కాదు విజయఐటీ ఐ గెస్,
Right.
ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేశారు మిమ్మల్ని.
Right.
సో 20 years జర్నీలో మీరు తెలుగు ఫిలింలో ఏమి అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారు? వాట్ ఈస్ ద గ్రోత్ కానీ చేంజ్ కానీ ఈ లాస్ట్ 20 yearsలో?
I think it's interesting that it's very nice that Telugu films have actually owned their space of telling rural stories in big scale, big budget cinema, which is what they like. They like larger than life. They've always been larger than life. Even when I started, I just feel like they're getting a pan-India sort of appreciation now.
Right.
But they've actually always stuck to their narrative, and I feel like it's paying off now that they're authentic to their roots, and they celebrate their roots. So I feel like it's an interesting time where more than a change that you could see, the fact that they stuck to their roots is kind of paying off right now.
Right, and you are the heroine in the first pan-India film.
Yeah, I've got super lucky to be a part of a film like Bahubali, because I think we didn't even realize, but we were part of something that was like a revolution. So yeah, super lucky.
అంటే బాహుబలి అనే ఫిల్మ్ ఏది రియల్ ఏది విఎఫ్ఎక్స్ అనేది కూడా తెలియలేదు.
Yeah.
అంత న్యాచురల్గా ఉంది.
Yeah.
దోస్ వాటర్ ఫాల్స్, మౌంటైన్స్. మీరున్న సీన్స్ ఎక్కువ వాటర్ ఫాల్స్ ఈవెన్.
Correct. There was a lot of CGI. Yeah. There was a lot
సో
of CGI. Yeah.
మీకు ఎలాగా, హౌ వాజ్ ద షూటింగ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్?
ఇట్ వాస్ ప్రతిరోజు మేము ఏమీ రెఫరెన్స్ లేకుండా, ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్ క్రియేటింగ్ సంథింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ స్క్రాచ్, అండ్ డెఫినెట్లీ సంథింగ్ దట్ like we knew we were doing something very different, but everything was a discovery. Like we were arriving at every shot, we were like, oh thank God, okay, we achieved this. One shot was like a feat in itself. But I find it very interesting because many years later, today, when I did Odila 2, I again stood on the same place where I didn't have a reference for this character. Because in cinema, I don't think anybody's played a Shiva Shakti.
అవును.
So it was very interesting that we thought that it's very important, if we are representing Shiva Shakti on screen, we have to make sure that it feels authentic and doesn't feel like a gimmick. Oh, oh, she has superpowers, so let's make her look like some kind of a gimmicky character by giving her like jata or giving her something that feels fake and doesn't feel real. So I think our whole goal with Odila 2 was to make sure that we make you experience what is not real and what is real. You should not be able to tell the difference between the two. In fact, I don't know, have you seen the teaser of this?
Right.
You've seen the
Very
teaser
powerful,
of this
yeah.
of this film? There is a shot, I don't know if you've noticed that, where it's a top angle of a grave.
Right.
And then there are ripples of sand that go off.
Yeah.
So that's not CGI.
Wow.
That is an effect that the action department has used to create ripples on sand. In fact, we were flabbergasted because we saw it happen on set, So it was very interesting to see. That's why I love Sampath Garu, that his strength has always been screenplay and storytelling, and someone like him who has the experience of how to use VFX. Like I remember when we did CT Mar also, we were working with a lot of we were doing young girls who were not actually actors. So there also a lot of VFX was used for the entire match that was being played. He's used VFX many times in different spaces, but now coming to this space and using his experience and technique, understanding of technique with the amazing screenplay and storytelling skills that he has, I think this is the kind of big screen experience that people want to see today. They want to be taken into a world. We can't tell them stories which feel like they can experience it in, like this kind of a film, you don't want to watch it in your phone. You have to go experience it with the sound, because for a film like this, again, having Ajneesh on board after Kantara, and with Kantara he was able to create such a memorable sound. I know for a fact that with this film, his music is going to be like another character in the film. It is going to be very powerful in the storytelling process itself, and the feeling of that mysticism is going to come out through the music also. So yeah, I think it's all these elements that eventually blur out the lines between what's real and what is, what's done up.
Yeah, Sampath has cast you in his first big film, Racha.
Yes.
And he has been traveling with you all the while. Whenever there is an important character,
Yes.
big film, he cast you.
Yeah.
So I don't see that kind of the bond over a decade,
Yeah.
or 1.5 decades,
Yeah.
almost, right?
Yeah.
So it's very what is special about him, the way he treats you, or the characters he offers you? What makes that special, the bond?
I think I and him have a very unspoken understanding of how we see cinema, and as creative people, I think we really see each other. Like, it's like that's what I might not talk to him for months or years, but when we come on board a film, it's like he knows what I am thinking, and if I tell him something, he understands it without judging me, and vice versa. Like, I think that's very important within creative people. Also, he's somebody who has always, he is a team player. He always wants to make sure the film is looking really good. Even in this film particular, be it Saundar sir, him, Ashok Garu, Vashishtha, we all worked like without titles. I'll do the job of an assistant director if someone will do the job of something else. Saundar sir is constantly doing other people's jobs, so we never look at the filmmaking processes as, okay, this is yours, this is mine. So I think me and Sampath Garu share that work ethic. I think the work ethic is a very big thing. We are able to do so many films together because there is no ego. If I tell him something, he believes me, trusts me. Vice versa, when he tells me something, no time, like this needs to happen like this because this is going to look like this, I trust him. So I feel like there is this unspoken understanding, trust, and a safe space to creatively express yourself. Like if I say, sir, I want to do something once more, even if everything is going down into flames, he'll be like, one more. So there is that give and take, which has been there over these years. So I feel like he's one person who I can always share my career goals with. I can be like, okay, I want this kind of a film. I think this is what we want to do, or we should do together. He's always on board, and he's wonderful to collaborate with.
Right. Are you kind of religious, or what is your views on?
Yeah, I am spiritual. I am a seeker, if that's something you would. Yeah, that would be more like it. I think these terms, spiritual, religious, and all, are really confusing because it puts you into a certain bracket.
Kind of political.
Yeah, which is not the intention of a person when they're trying to communicate what they might actually be. But I think I'm a seeker, and I think I've always been a seeker because I remember writing in my diary when I was like 13, who am I? So yeah, I've always been a seeker, and I think India is a land of seekers. So I feel like that's essentially who we are.
That's nice. You have done so many Telugu films. Which films are dear to you? If you have to list out like 5 films,
which are dear to me.
or the characters.
Out of my own films?
Yeah, your own films, right? Your own Telugu films.
My own Telugu films. I think Happy Days. Usarvalli. I really liked Yendukante Premanta, which I know it's a very cheesy love story, but I really think it's one of my favorite films out of the stuff I've done. Bahubali, of course. 100% Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You worked with almost all iconic directors of Telugu cinema.
Yeah,
Right.
I did. I had the good fortune of...
Rajamouli,
Yeah.
Sukumar,
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the working styles, I mean, right now Rajamouli and Sukumar are like top
Yes. They're making the
directors
country
in
proud,
India,
I
basically.
think. Yeah, they're making our country really proud.
Right.
Yeah.
So their working styles, what I mean, individually, how
Yeah.
different are they as directors in terms of their working style?
I think they're... I think Raj sir is extremely meticulous. Like his prep is next level. Like I've never seen anybody have this kind of prep on a film. And because I worked on Bahubali with him, that's the only film I worked with him on. I love how his entire family is a part of the filmmaking process, and there's a lot of understanding between each person of what are they going to do and how are they going to do it. And they have a plan A, they have a plan B, they have a plan C, and they have a plan D. You know, so they're that prepared. Like if A doesn't work, they'll go to B. If B doesn't work, they'll go to C. So I feel like just this ability to prep for everything to not work out is wonderful, and that is a dream to work with. When I worked with Suku sir, what I loved is his innate sense of wanting to let the actors explore themselves while they are performing a character. The kind of creative freedom I had to create Mahalakshmi was unrealistic. I feel like those were also my learning grounds for how to create a character.
Right.
So with Suku sir, he's always pushing the actor to find, okay, what is another thing that you can do that will add another layer to your character. So he constantly talks to you and leaves you with those thoughts that, you know, think like this, or what if you thought like this. So he's always like probing you to bring out something. And I feel like that's why his characters are very iconic. Like if you see a Pushpa, you don't forget the character. After a while, you might forget the film, or you might forget what happens in the film. But the character just stays. You know, it stays over and above everything. So I feel like he has that ability to push actors to bring that out.
Right. మీరు 100% లవ్ చేసే టైంలో హీ వాజ్ మోర్ ఇంటూ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ వెరీ క్రియేటివ్ స్క్రీన్ ప్లే అండ్ క్రియేటివ్ అండ్ wacky characterizations.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't expect what is going to be the kind of tricky characterizations.
Yeah.
Basically, especially for the main lead.
Yeah.
You don't understand how he is going to react to a particular scene in 100% love. We
Yeah.
don't know how negatively he takes it, how positively he takes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's
So
it's
from
so
that
cool.
space,
Yeah.
he's come to a level where his film is the number one grosser in
Absolutely.
India.
Absolutely.
And the biggest Hindi grosser,
Yes.
you know. So did you foresee that kind of growth in him?
I definitely knew he was rare and brilliant. Like I think because even before he did 100% Love, when he had Arya come out, these are memorable characters.
Yeah.
Like I think one thing that stands, like now that if you just go back to his filmography, you remember all his characters.
Right.
It's very interesting how you might not exactly remember what happened in the film, but you will remember the people you will remember. So that's always been his way to go. And he's also a very he has a great insight into human psyche. So it's fun. It's so I'm so happy for him because he deserves every bit of the success he has.
Right. You have done so many songs also. I
Yeah.
mean, you are regarded as one of the best dancers. So what are your favorite songs in Telugu?
I like all Badrinath songs. All my Badrinath songs
Right.
I love. I love Avara songs, which is actually Payya in Tamil. And
Right.
that Avara was
Travel film,
great.
yeah.
Was great music. Kunjam Ishtam Kunja Kashtam had very good music. Which were the other films that I had?
Bahubali.
Bahubali, of course, like it goes unsaid.
100% love.
100% Love also had great music. I even liked Cameraman Ganga to Ram Babu, the music.
Yeah.
Very like fun kind of tracks.
Right.
I even like Swing Zara, which is a very fun, peppy dance number with Tarak that I've done. Yeah, so I think actually a lot of different music, which was very, very good.
I think you are the only actress who acted with Chiranjeevi garu, Pawan Kalyan garu, and Ram Charan garu, right?
Am I? Okay, yeah, I could be, yeah. I have acted.
You
with all
acted
three.
with these three, right?
Yeah, with all three, yeah. Hey, Racha had great music. Listen, Racha had very, very good music. That reminds me.
Right. They've seen three of them are iconic and they belong to the same family. So
Yeah.
how different they are?
Oh, very different. They're all very different people. They're all, they've all achieved so much in their own right. I mean, of course, Chiranjeevi Garu is iconic and we've grown up watching his work. So the respect for him, and I think there's also his humility. Like he's really a very warm and loving person to meet, and you might meet him in any place, and he'll always, he'll always treat you with so much respect and love. So it's always wonderful. Even Charan, for that matter, he's just they're both very warm and welcoming, and have had great experiences working with them. Pawan sir, unfortunately, I had very little time with, but whenever I worked with him, he's very shy, very sweet, very unlike his cinema personality, which is so like out there. He was very humble, very sweet, very soft spoken. So yeah, those are the memories I have of him.
Right. And what are the future films?
Future films, I have a bunch of this, of course. Odela 2 comes out on the 17th of April, so I'm super excited about that. I have a long format that's going to come this year. It's going to be on Prime Video. That's going to be Hindi language. And I am also doing 2 more projects which will be announced very soon. So yeah.
Right. How different is working for OTT and for the movies? Do you see any fundamental difference in terms of the way they?
Yeah, I think long format and particularly long format is more a writer's and an actor's medium. But cinema still stands to be a director's medium. Also, I think OTT is a great neutralizer. Like మీరు ఎలాంటి యాక్టరో అది చాలా క్లియర్గా ఓటీటీలో తెలిసిపోతుంది. అంటే యూ కెనాట్ హైడ్ బికాజ్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ గ్లోరిఫికేషన్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ దెర్. చాలాసారి సినిమాలో ఉన్న ఆ స్లో మోషన్ షాట్లు, that gaze which comes through glorification, అది ఓటీటీలో ఉండదు. So it's very interesting that whatever you are kind of just comes out and you can't get away. But it also gives you a place to play very different characters, and it was very liberating for me, Andy, actually being a part of projects where it was just you go in without any kind of expectation or judgment.
Right.
And you just play the characters that you're supposed to play without understanding or trying to judge what people will think.
Right. అంటే one of the disadvantages for a very good looking actresses is that వాళ్ళని లుక్స్ని బట్టి ప్రైజ్ చేస్తారు కానీ they don't, audience also, they don't go beyond looks. కానీ there are certain characters you have done supremely well. So if you have to tell one character, you, as an actor,
Yeah.
This one character is the best.
I don't think that A is applicable to me, because my looks were never a hindrance for me to be offered different parts. Because I always look different in every part.
Right.
I make that effort also to constantly, like, if you see me in Bahubali, you see me in Saira, or you see me in 100% Love, or you see me in Odila 2, I constantly look different in whatever part I play, or whatever the OTT films I've done. I've done Bubbly Bouncer, or I have done Love Stories, or I've done anything. They've all presented me and made me look very, very different. So I feel like I don't get, I don't think being good looking is a disadvantage. It can be a great, strong tool to, to kind of play different parts. And I don't have any one character which I felt is the best looking. So yeah, I don't think any of my characters particularly, their looks are something that I've been very, very like, oh, they're. And I think, I really, really hope and wish that Odila 2 is my best performance. And I'm really, really hoping that, because I think it really has a part of my heart. And it's I've tried to have the most authentic performance for a character like this, set up in in a commercial format. Because when you do these larger than life films, it requires a very different kind of conviction. And I really hope that this is what people feel as I feel it.
Okay, Odila 2 is releasing on April 17.
Yeah.
I hope and I wish that this film becomes a blockbuster.
Thank you.
And an
Thank
iconic film
you.
for you. All the best.
I hope I see you for 20 more years.
Yeah, thank you. Same here.
Thank you.